Hello everyone, and welcome to The Final Gift, a Warhammer 40,000 only war campaign. In a moment, we are going to be joining our squad, but before we do, seeing as there are a lot of people who probably don't have too much information on the Warhammer 40,000 universe and the specifics of our regiment and squad, we'll go over them very quickly. So, it is the 41st Millennium. For more than 100 centuries, the Emperor of Mankind has sat immobile on the Golden Throne of Earth. He is the master of mankind by the will of the gods and master of 1,000,000 worlds by the might of his inexhaustible armies. He is now a rotting carcass, writhing invisibly with power from the Dark Age of technology. He is the Carrion Lord of the vast Imperium of Man, for whom 1,000 souls are sacrificed every day so that he may never truly die. Yet, even in his deathless state, the Emperor continues his eternal vigilance. Mighty battle fleets cross the demonic-infested miasma of the Warp, the only route between distant stars. Greatest amongst his soldiers are the Adeptus Astartes, the Space Marines. Their comrades in arms are Legion, the Imperial Guard, and countless planetary defense forces, along with the ever-vigilant Inquisition and tech priests of the Adeptus Mechanicus, to name only a few. But, for all their multitudes, they are barely enough to hold off the ever-present threat to humanity from aliens, heretics, mutants, and far, far worse. To be a soldier in such times is to be one amongst untold billions. It is to live in the cruelest and most bloody regime imaginable. And these are the tales of those times. Forget the power of technology and science, for so much has been forgotten, never to be relearned. Forget the promises of progress and understanding, for in the grimdark future, there is only war. There is no peace amongst the stars, only an eternity of carnage and slaughter, and the laughter of thirsting gods. So, now for the regiment that we are going to be joining. The soldiers of the regiment of the Tastorian Ultimus Fideli, from the worlds of the Tastorian system in the galaxy. These soldiers drop into battle using grav chutes, similar to jetpacks, and purge all heresy as they march each world they are designated to. Their motto is, "Death is the currency of war, and we spend it well." And they are tasked with the job of purging worlds lost to the Imperium. Often, the crunch of their boots are over the dead of former Imperial worlds, soldiers, and civilians, unwise enough to let themselves fall from the grace of the Emperor. Because when your world falls to evil, the final gift the Imperium can give you is a quick and clean death. So, we are going to join our squad. Sitting in a Valkyrie transport. A Valkyrie transport being a advanced aircraft used for troop transport and bombing or gun running. It's quiet, and for now, we're going to focus on the new member to the squad, a trooper by the name of Shane Hawk. He's a little nervous, fiddling with his cognomen tags, very similar to dog tags, and looking around. As he looks around, he sees his lieutenant, Lieutenant Erassian, a bit younger than he was expecting, very clean-shaven, very prim, proper-looking, staring straight ahead, waiting for the green light to jump out of the aeroplane and grav shoot down to the surface. It's not quite time yet. He looks over across from his lieutenant and sees a sergeant, Sergeant Keith. A bit older than he was expecting, grizzled, and actually one of the more welcoming members of the squad. When the sergeant asked him if he was proud to have signed up, he said yes, and that made his sergeant laugh. So, Sergeant Keith, would you like to expand a little bit on what we see when we look at him?
Sergeant Keith. Yeah, he's a sort of, he's a survivor. You can see it on his face. He's always looking around corners as much as he can. He's not a bad man by any chance, you know, but what he listens to people. His outfit that he's wearing is pretty basic. Nothing too special about it, except he's got this one pauldron's got some bits on it. It's not exactly regulation, I guess you could say, but he's partial to it. But other than that, he's the sort of man that pays attention. That's why he's made it this far. Hawk, stop fiddling. Jesus.
Sorry, Sarge. Hawk rips his eyes off the sergeant nervously and looks over to a fellow trooper, possibly a little bit older than the sergeant. His name is Trooper Lenk. The longest serving in the squad. He's been around as long as anyone else can remember. Also clean shaven, but with very white hair underneath his helmet. He actually, when Hawk tried to speak to him, he showed no interest in him and did not talk to him. So Hawk is a little nervous of him and has no idea what to make of him. Moving immediately past him, Hawk looks over to a quiet, serious-looking individual who makes him a little bit nervous. Recon Asinius. He's also heard him being referred to as Ace. Quite grim-faced, very serious, but professional, but unfortunately with slightly creepy vibes. Since the first time that Asinius's jet black eyes registered the new recruit, it felt like he was sizing him up, or trying to figure out if he was worth killing. Asinius, would you like to expand a little on your character?
Well, Asinius loves to kill, but only killing things that are gorgeous, beautiful, symmetric, nice contour lines. When heads go snap and things pop, it's almost like I hear violins playing in my head. Then all the grim goes away, everything turns to light. It's just me and the artistry. There it is. Do you hear it? Yes. But if it's not beautiful, I want nothing to do with it. Nothing at all. It's disgusting. Not worth my bullets. The violins disappear, the bullets are not counted. And everything just disperses in thin air, and I have no interest. I don't even care if the captain himself says go kill it. I'll just get Rita to blow it up. I'll burn it up. Either way. What are you looking at? Do you want to be next?
looks away, looks down, desperately searches the inside of the Valkyrie for something else to focus on, and looks over, catches the eye of Specialist Rita Parzival. Actually quite friendly enough. Bit rough maybe, but chatty and welcoming. Always has a smile. Especially compared to the rest of the squad. A bit intimidating physically, but did offer to get him anything he needs, just ask and have something to trade. So, Rita.
You think this is bad? You look a little green, mate.
No, just first time dropping, that's all.
You ever been on a drop? Oh, it's your first time?
First time, yeah.
It's his first time, everyone! Oh, it's very special. Hey, you ever got any food on you?
Just my rations.
Rations? What kind?
Just standard regimental rations. I was given them when I signed up.
They give you the rat?
No? Were they supposed
Oh,
to?
he hasn't eaten the rat yet. You will.
Okay. And he looks over to someone who is uncomfortable for him, actually sitting right next to him. And that is the heavy of the squad, Vera von Valkes. Hawk is used to people who worship, who are religious, and expressions of faith for the Emperor are commonplace, but von Valkes is off-putting, to say the least. Her faith and zeal is plain for all to see, and seeing her slightly unfocused eyes staring past you while she is praying is worrying, to say the least. When he asked the lieutenant what type of soldier she was, the lieutenant simply said, "You'll find out," grimly. Vera,
Yeah.
would you like to explain more what we see of
Sure.
as a soldier?
Listen, don't talk to me. I don't give a fuck. You want to be a lead puppet? Go ahead and ask. I'll make your dreams come true. Talk shit about the Emperor? You won't wake up. That's it. I'm big. I like to kill. I like to kill messy. I don't really give a shit. That's about it. Ace over there. Ugh, God. Cry me a river. Was that enough? Sorry, should I keep going?
No, that's fine, thank you.
Hey, don't cry. It's just war, bitch. It's how she is.
No artistry, no innovation, no uniqueness, just bullet spray everywhere. Why are we here with her?
And the other trooper, the older one, finally looks up and looks over at the rest of the squad and says, "Come on now, everyone. Don't scare the newbie."
I wouldn't dream him of it.
He'll be dead soon enough anyway.
Now that's interestingly correct by my
All
calculations.
right. All right. Stop with all the grab ass and focus.
Sorry, Sarge.
Yeah.
And now, we're going to go back in time slightly. 2 weeks, in fact. A trench on the outskirts of Hive Tertius. Planet, Scatharian's Fall. Artillery from the Hive flying over your heads at the enemy, and the enemy artillery flying back towards you. Keeping your head down in the trench, occasionally popping up to light up the indistinct enemies in the smoke. Grim through no man's land. Been here for a few days, exchanging sporadic fire, expecting a charge at any moment. Occasional grenade flies over, courtesy of Specialist Parzival.
That was
Warbitch.
okay. It was all right.
Occasionally slamming her heavy bolter down on top of the trench to let out a huge burst of gunfire. And even occasionally, from his spot, a little ways back and a little ways up, a shot rings out as Ace takes another headshot.
It's a good shot, mate.
Excellent. I know, isn't it? There's something about the pop that gets me riled up.
And then the artillery from both sides starts to peter out. And the lieutenant looks over to Sergeant Keith and says, "Sergeant, be prepared to repel assaulters."
Got it.
He hefts his bolt pistol, cracks his neck slightly.
Everybody. We're gonna need to focus hard. When they come, you take them out. You do not stop. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Sarge.
Yes, Sarge.
Yes, of course.
Sarge.
Yeah.
Just a word. Is it, what I should, use the Frenzigen?
Yeah.
Yeah?
How do you feel?
I want the Frenzigen.
Do it.
All right.
3, 4,
Ace, as you're
5.
purveying the battlefield, you see, and all of you will hear, a quick, sharp cheer, and then an increase of small arms fire as the enemy jump up over the trench and start running to your position with heavy weapons covering them from behind. Multiple bullet divots are hit up along the side of the trench as they charge towards you.
All right. Here we go. Here we go. Everybody, look down range. You see? Ace? I want to
Yep.
see so many of those heads pop. One at a time. Over and over. You
Now you're
make it
speaking
pretty.
my language. Absolutely. Pretty is what I do.
Falcus.
Not if I get to them first, bitch.
Yeah, right. Well, all right.
He said he
Focus
wanted
up.
me
Over.
to do it.
Yeah, you can both do it. Just focus over on the left. All right? Focus over there.
All right.
Parzival. Blow those
Yes,
fuckers
what?
up.
Yes.
Blow those
Sarge?
fuckers up.
Oh, all right. Parzival
All right.
just licks one of the grenades a little bit and pops it in the grenade launcher and starts going to work.
Okay, there are multiple groups running towards you, but with your weapon especially, you can lob it over, so you don't need to expose yourself. What are we firing?
Parzival thought she was firing a Frenzigen grenade, but it's actually just a regular explosive
frag?
grenade. It's just a
Okay.
frag grenade, yeah.
So yeah, the couple of pops, pop, and the grenades go flying over the trench and land in the middle of these charging kind of swarm mass of indistinct human figures, and the explosions just rip them apart, like big damage, lots of them being thrown to the ground, some of them getting back up, some limping, some not moving.
Oi, Ace! Didn't know rebels could fly.
Well, that was good because now I have, like, a good bit in my eyesight. But I only want 5 shots. Make 'em count. Maybe the leaders? And then you can mow them down. Just don't touch mine.
Ace.
I would
Ace,
like to mow his down.
do me a favor, right?
The first thing I do.
What?
Ace,
Yes.
I challenge you.
Oh.
Minimal 3 per shot. You line them up.
Shot. You said a challenge.
Fine. 5 per shot.
Oh, well, that one's right there. Okay, you see that line over there? That's mine. Look
Charging
at they
in.
follow just like puppies. 1, 2,
As they line up perfectly.
4. These shots.
And the shot goes straight through the first one, the second one, both ones falling down as they go. The third one, the fourth one. The bullet impacts and he goes down on his knees.
Oh, got it. You see that? You mow them down, as you shall say. That is artistry. That is beauty. And that is what we call ecstasy.
Literally no one else gives a fuck. You know that, right? It's just you.
Everyone cares.
Okay, sure. I would like to mow down as many motherfuckers as possible, please.
Oh yeah, you heft your heavy bolter, swing it round and slam it on top of the trench, exposing yourself very slightly, which doesn't matter, because you depress the trigger and it explodes. Just curving through the enemy, like scything through them, taking them down as they desperately try to get out of your line of fire.
No, that's fucking art, Ace.
No, there's something else, and I don't know how to describe it. Maybe abstract. Maybe it could be art. No, you're not there yet. You won't understand. Good
There
luck, nonetheless.
is a slight pause in the assault as the wounded try and pick themselves back up and head back towards the trench. The waves coming from the trench line cease, and the heavy weapons fire coming towards you picks up, hitting the trench, whizzing by your heads. All of you essentially duck down and keep your heads down below the trench for a second.
It's more like.
Then, with a few accompanying pops, some smoke grenades are thrown,
Yep.
fizzing out to the middle of the no man's land, obscuring your view, providing cover for the next set of charging troops, which I'm sure will come momentarily.
All right. That was good. That was really good. They're coming again. You all know it. We don't got good vision right now. I need some options. All right?
Well, I can maybe go far east, scout, call out.
Okay. All right. That's good. All right.
Could lie down a couple of mines, huh?
Yes, maybe you should come with me.
Okay. All right. Trooper.
Sir.
All right. I want you to go right behind Parzival, okay? You keep any cover fire for her. You keep an eye out that she's doing this, all right?
Where you are, Sarge?
Valkus.
Yeah.
All right, you're gonna go in the opposite direction of Ace. You're gonna keep your eyes out. You're gonna be the fucking war bitch. You mow down anything that pops its head up. You got it?
I got it, baby.
Good. All right. Stop waiting around.
All right. Ace shoots off, kind of like almost like blazing speed, and goes far east.
Parzival's right next to him. DM, are there any like weapons of war that are just strewn on the battlefield here? Is there any mechanical stuff on the ground?
There's las guns, a few frag grenades, nothing particularly of interest. Quite a ways further down there is a las cannon, but it's intended for anti-tank use.
Okay.
and there is someone manning it, so you'd have to kick them off first.
Bodies, though. Lots of bodies. Yeah.
Lots of bodies.
Okay. Perfect. As we go, I'm just gonna pull a few of the grenade pins and just leave them where they are while we're going.
Okay.
Make sure you keep up. I'm gonna put some distance between us, so you can set and I can look for you.
Right behind you.
Don't tell me you're having one of your moments.
No. I just need me nutrient bars, it's all.
Oh, you're definitely having one of your moments. All right, then. Keep up.
And
Leng gets in position.
Like steps past you, Rita. Like pauses for a second, looks and says, "Come on, Parzival. If I can keep up, so can you." And then just like ducks down and keeps heading.
Parzival tries to pull one of his grenade pins too, but misses.
Yeah.
There's a group of them coming up. 3 east, and like 9 behind them. If you set your minds up just right, you there, newbie, you may be able to lure them in. Shall we use them as bait? It might be beautiful.
Parzival's already loading mines into the newbie's hands. Just like
Excellent.
Just FYI, the person who's with you is Trooper Lenk. He's the veteran.
Okay.
The newbie hasn't joined you yet.
Gotcha. Okay.
Right,
Trooper.
Lank, you're gonna take these mines, you're gonna put them just underneath the bodies over there so they're harder to see.
Right you are. What's the likelihood of them going off?
Yes, you'll be fine.
Alright.
Just
I've
in
got
case-
your back.
Yeah,
Don't
you're
worry.
fine. You're fine.
Ace, I'm gonna need you to do something. When you see them coming, you can see where they're putting down the mines, right? You think you can take out some legs right before they get there? Full impact of the body right on top of those other bodies down there. See if we can blow some of them fuckers up. Just take the legs out right before they get there.
Who was that to, Ace?
Yeah, those 2 Ace. Yeah.
Their legs.
Yeah,
You mean?
their legs.
But that makes them half. That's not half. It's 3/4 of a bot. That doesn't
Right.
work for me. What if I just shoot the mines and blow everything up?
Leng
Alright.
looks over at Rita, rolls his eyes, and just proceeds to slowly creep out into no man's land.
You see, the legs are
Carling
quite
ones.
bony. The contour is
Just-
just not correct.
No, that's fine. No, that's fine. Just to make
Belly
sure.
shots, maybe they bleed slowly.
No. If it, no. Look, that's fine.
Ace is
Those
being
mines are
difficult
under.
again.
They're hidden. You sure you can hit that? You sure you got that ability
You
in you?
know, these special bullets of mine.
All right.
Yes, these are my babies.
Right. Okay. So this is what I challenge you to.
But I have to go
Someone's
through
go-
a ritual first. I would like to let you know. Takes me about
That's
3.5. Yes,
That's
maybe
fine.
4.
But I'm challenging
Rush
you.
on, Sarge.
If someone's going to step on a mine, you don't shoot the mine. You only shoot it if they're crowding around it, but they're going to miss it. That's
Well, I
on
can
you.
always shoot them in the head. You know, that way the body
yeah.
stays
Well, all right.
intact.
Go for the mines first.
Yes, of course. Excellent. Are you ready? Lure them in?
Link and Rita have finished just sliding these mines under cover of quite a generous amount of smoke. Luckily, it has helped you venture out into no man's land a little bit as well, and the kind of left side of your flank has got about 4 or 5 fairly high explosive mines just peeking out from under a few bodies.
Can while everyone is distracted, can Rita just sort of kneel down and start patting some of the bodies to see if there's anything in them, you know?
Yeah. In general, a lot of the equipment is inferior to yours. You got some auto guns. You've got-
Certainly, but I'm looking for things like low sticks or just rations.
Yeah, as you kind of quickly go through a couple of the bodies, there's these kind of low quality rat packs and like a couple of rings and bits of, you know, basic very low quality steel jewelry. Even one dude with a gold tooth.
Yoink.
Yeah, quick smash and grab.
Mm-hmm.
No notice, it's fine.
Wipe it off. Still good. Use it later.
Now, Lank, do not get in the way. When I take my shots, I don't see anything but the target.
Right, you are, Ace. Just you make
Ritual
sure you hit that
complete.
shot.
Oh, make sure I hit the shot. Was that an insult? Did he just insult me?
No, it's just a dialect.
Well then,
Rita's gonna look at him with a stern look.
2, 3, 4, and maybe 5. Ritual
Malchus.
complete.
Malchus. You there? You set
Yeah.
up? Are you set up?
Yeah, I am.
All right. First thing you see, you let me know, and then you start shooting.
Will do.
All right.
I set up, and you hear me sort of quietly say, "Spirits in the machine, reward my faith."
You feel the power gained from faith in the Emperor fill you with holy zeal, ready to mow down your enemies and those of the Emperor.
Call me
And
Gardner.
There is 30 seconds, maybe a minute, where there is just sporadic gunfire exchanged until another yell and another set of shadows leap up from the trench and run towards your position, abreast this time, not in lines. Try not to group too closely together. Possibly they've learned, possibly they're hoping that spreading out will lessen the damage done by grenades and heavy weapons fire.
Well, I shoot them anyway and try to get as many as I can.
Oh yeah, and you do. The heavy bolter opens up, kicks up dirt all around them, like as you just kind of like pivot along down the line of them. It doesn't really matter that some of the bullets miss because you still hit people. The explosive shells like ripping arms and people flying all over the place as they get knocked over, knocked down, and knocked back. But still the line comes. 50 meters away from the hidden mines. 40, 30, 20, until an explosion at the very end as one of them steps on one of the mines, flinging bodies everywhere.
How many bodies?
Oh, hard to tell with all the smoke, but a good 10 maybe.
Just round it up to 10. Chalk up 10 for me, Sarge.
Yeah, I got it.
I didn't even get to shoot them. They were dumb enough to step on them.
They're always dumb enough to step on
Well.
a mace.
That's right. I was hoping that there would be more intelligence amongst these.
They're rebels. What are they gonna do?
I don't know. I brought up my babies. Well then, save them for later.
As the remnants of the attack falters against the mixture of mines and heavy weapons fire, the enemy falls back one more time. And the lieutenant strides over to Sergeant Keith and says, "Sergeant,
Yeah, LT.
we're pushing them out of that trench. We are going in 2 minutes. Prepare the men."
I got it.
See it
Alright,
done,
everybody.
Sarge.
I got it. All right, everybody. We're going over, and we're going in. Get yourselves ready.
What do you
Time
mean
to earn
over
my
and
bubble
in?
bath.
Oh, we're gonna push right up their throats.
Did you just say bubble bath?
You want
All
a
right.
beef bomb?
You know what? Yeah, I'll take one. And maybe we can be a little bit more goddamn efficient than Ace over here. Maybe we can, you know.
I am all efficient. It should be my name, actually.
It takes you
Very
10
efficient.
fucking minutes to line up a shot. Jesus Christ.
Okay, there's an importance here. You don't want to rupture the left lobe. That's the
left
artistic
lobe?
one. Yes.
Autistic.
All right.
As long as they're preparing themselves as they're sort of arguing, I'm just sitting back and watching.
I would
Parcel's loading up the
assume
bolt
they are.
pistol and checking all the grenades.
I could be messy. Just choose not to. Because we have you here.
Could we get? Do you have any smoke grenades left? Could we get a bit of cover as we go over?
Um.
Good.
You want to smoke here? You want it there? You want it? How long you want the smoke for? What color you want it?
Any color's really fine, but just as long as it's out in between us and the.
I got baby blue.
Baby
Let's
blue
go with-
sounds nice.
Pink.
Let's go with blue. Sure.
Blue. Baby blue it is.
Okay. So, Sarge, how long we got?
Minute, maybe 2.
About a minute. Right. I'm ready.
Yeah. All right. Sarge pulls out his gun and his chainsword, and he looks at everybody and says, "Stay close at first. If you got to spread out, do it. Pay attention, and don't fucking die." And then he immediately crawls up and starts going.
Yeah. Trooper Link essentially follows right up behind you.
Yeah, I'm following.
Ace puts on his cloak
Completely
and
aligned cloak, yeah.
stays and ducks down and tries to stay in every shadow possible while following.
Do you want to essentially like follow the same route up, but then take a little dink so you can kind of cover? Cause
Yeah, kind of like a snake almost. He's just like shooting, or a cat shooting to the shadows, and just covering people's movements.
Yeah.
And being observant and paying attention to the enemy's movements while he does it.
I'm walking in full fucking range of everything. I'm just
Got a
walking with my giant
big,
fucking
heavy
gun.
bolter, like
Yeah,
strapped
yeah.
on. And
I give, no one try
If
shooting me. Have fun.
if you want to fire it, you will need to stop. And basically, like, because it's a heavy weapon, you'll need to, like, stop and, like, plant your legs to give it a proper good old squeeze.
Okay.
Rita? Couple of...
Following up in the back, just checking bodies along the road, seeing if there's anything valuable just on them. Obvious. Trying not to take too much time.
Okay. Cool.
Do I
Sarge.
find anything?
Oof. Nothing particularly easy to carry. A few stubbers, a couple of grenades, just regular frag. A couple of caches of ammunition for stubber guns.
Okay, got it.
Sarge,
Yeah,
as you go,
Yep.
to begin with, pretty quick going. You know, like snaking from cover to cover, moving forward. The rest of the trench line is coming with you. It's not a crazy, loud, cheery charge like the enemy did. This is professionals pushing forward, trying to take a trench.
Yeah.
As you keep pushing forward, you get through the smoke, and the gunshots start to become a little more concentrated, whistling over your head, hitting the cover in front of you as you kind of snake around. Ace, as they are going, you drop behind cover to the right of them, and you see a heavy weapon turning to like open up in their general direction.
There's something big, something disgusting being pointed at us. Shall I aim on sights? Cover yourselves. And he's looking through the scope to get a read on everything.
Yeah, it's like a big heavy stubber gun. Got this big kind of magazine that gets smashed into the top of it, and it's similar to to Von Valk's weapon, but a little bit lighter, not quite as expensive and fancy.
Valkis,
the gunner's just
You
like...
think your gun is big? I think I found bigger.
The
kinda
gunner's
smirks.
just like
Wait,
aiming
what?
down the weapon towards like the smoke where the troops are coming out of.
Who's got a fucking bigger gun?
Right over there. And you know what? It may even look better than yours. And he smirks because he wants to get under her skin, so she destroys it.
Don't listen to him, baby.
If you like, Vera, heavy von Valkus, you
Yeah.
can lay down some cover fire, or you can just kind of like go with the.
Yeah, I'd like to lay down some cover fire for
Okay, yeah.
sure. I just stop walking and just unload.
Casually just stop, sling the weapon
Yeah.
around,
Yeah.
at your feet, and open up, and just kind of like spray the front of the trench as the rest of them move forward. A little bit of return fire does come from the heavy weapon, but it is sporadic because he has to keep his head down. He does, however, tag a few of the soldiers pushing forward to the left, to the right. A few bullets whiz past your head, but the Emperor protects you. Not
Yeah.
one hits you.
I'm not gonna fucking die.
And
I
then
think- oh yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, you're in grenade range now, like throwing a grenade if you want to throw before you go into the trench. But basically, the more dead before you jump into the trench, the less you have to kill
Yeah,
once you get there.
that's perfect. So yeah, Oswald, you got a present for him.
Oh, I got a present. Yeah, right here. Parzival
Alright.
takes one of the grenades, the Frenzigen grenades, and she thinks it's an explosive one and just lobs it in and waits
Oh.
for the explosion.
The grenade, poof, flies, arcs, and lands right in the middle of the trench where a big huddle of troopers are lined up, like firing and trying to stop this wave of Imperial Guardsmen of your regiment pushing towards them. The grenade just goes, and a huge, strangely greeny red mist just envelops the area. And you realize you fired a Frenzigen grenade. This is your own concoction. Essentially, you took the basics of a hallucinogen grenade and infused it with Frenzon, another drug that tends to send people a little bit insane. So, what happens and what you will take in as you're essentially laying down covering fire, moving from cover to cover, getting closer to this section of the trench you're about to take, is in 1 second, they go from confused and dazed and inhaling this smoke to ripping each other apart. Guns get swung round, they
Saving, man.
shoot each other in the head, just stabbing and shooting, and even a grenade. There's an explosion as someone pulls a grenade off someone else, and it just like rips apart this area. After a couple of seconds, two lone, like at different parts of the trench, having killed everyone else there, just jump up and run out the trench straight at you guys. Barely firing their weapons, like a couple of bullets maybe wildly fired in the air.
Rita has a knife, a big Bowie knife out, and he gets close enough. Rita ducks and just right
yeah.
up under his rib
He
cage.
comes for you, and with his knife out, and he just like goes straight for the middle of your face. At the last second, you just duck very slightly, and the knife goes.
Rita
I
wants
think
to
at
get
that
really,
time-
just really close to him. Just knife to meet you.
And he,
I think Ace probably blows the head off when she does that.
oh yeah, splat, just.
What? Well, I didn't know if you can handle it or not. You chose. Hey, you know, it was gorgeous and amazing in what you did in the trench.
It was good,
Very
right?
artistic. It was, I'm impressed. You
Was
can
there another
learn
one?
something, Valkus.
Yeah.
There was another one running.
Vera von Valkus, as you are watching, the last one is running towards you, just kind of like big kind of combat knife in his hand, screaming, "Death to the false emperor!"
Yeah, I just fire a full load into. I make him a lead puppet.
You make him a thin red mist as you
Beautiful.
swing your heavy bolt around and squeeze the trigger. It just explodes out towards him, and by the time the smoke has cleared, there's a couple of boots left on the ground.
Filthy heretic.
I think after seeing those two get taken out, Sarge stands up fully and probably assesses the whole area, walks over to the trench and looks for anyone still alive at all. Ripped apart doesn't matter. And if they move even a little bit, blink, he shoots them right in the forehead, and he just keeps doing that.
Yeah, you look around the trench as everyone else is kind of pouring over the trench. There's melee fighting on the left, to the right. Luckily, your enemies kind of rip themselves apart. There's not much left in this trench. Just kind of bodies lying around until suddenly one of them jerks up and goes straight for your face, like just hands crazed, like drool coming from his face, just screaming. But
I just
Garden,
pop him.
yeah.
Doesn't. Yeah. No, I
the bolt
don't have
pistol
time.
swings around,
Yeah, don't have time for it.
and then click, bang, just
Yeah. He goes right back down.
falls over, limp.
Sorry,
like you cleared the
Sergeant, do
trench.
that sometimes.
It's all right. It's all right. I didn't exactly expect you to be throwing that one, but that's all
Save
right.
your ammo. Just get the knife. Get close, you know? Rita's gonna just duck down to the bodies and get real close and stab them in the chest cavities while she's trying to get in their pockets.
Yeah.
Just get the knife out.
Trooper
Right.
Trooper Link jumps down into the trench as well, like goes back behind his back, gets a knife out and just like pulls one of these troopers up to his face and then just in the neck, lays him back down.
Yeah. Do I find anything in any of these pockets?
Yeah, there's a nice, actually, one of the better looking. He may have been a sergeant, possibly maybe a lieutenant. He's got this really nice little bag of recaf and like a pouch of glow sticks just in his breast pocket.
How many?
6. It's like a little case.
6. Right.
And Trooper Link looks back at you, Sarge, and says, I think we took the trench, Sarge.
Fucking right, we did.
Now we just have to stop them taking it back and take the next one.
And they're not gonna take it back, and you're absolutely right. So let's make sure we clear this fucking thing out and let's get situated. So we're gonna be doing this again.
Right you are, Sarge. And as you are setting up, clearing the bodies, occasional shots ring out as an enemy trooper is slightly less dead than it looked like. Managed to clear the trench, and the lieutenant stomps up behind you, foot on top of the trench, looking down, and says, we have new orders, troopers. We're moving out. Off planet. Going somewhere else.
What? Leave?
Sorry, what
Gear
the
up.
fuck?
Time to go.
We're not done here.
We're not
Special
done
mission.
at all.
We're done here. We're done here. We're
What?
done here. It's fine.
Sergeant, see to it. And then
I got it. LT. I got it.
turns away.
He probably hears me go, fuck. All right, listen.
What does he mean by leaving,
We
Sergeant?
got it. We're gonna have a new job. Don't know what it is yet. Doesn't matter. We got orders. We're gonna follow them.
Is it
Okay.
involve killing?
Of course it does.
Oh, okay then. Well,
You think we got 5 minutes? Just 5 minutes is all?
Yeah,
just
go ahead and look
picked
through
up
some
pace,
shit.
picking
It's
through
fine.
people's
Go
pockets
ahead,
on the
go
ground.
ahead, Jesus. Just get your shit together, all right? We're gonna have to get in the transport.
Fuck, man.
Yes, Sarge.
And the next 2 weeks consist of you de-assing, getting your gear together, getting off the front line, and jumping on transport to a frigate waiting for you above orbit. Eventually bringing you to the planet you're currently on. With no words so far of what your mission is, you find yourselves in the Valkyrie. quiet, waiting for the green light to jump out of the Valkyrie, grav shoot down to the floor, and find out what the fuck you're doing here. The new recruit, Trooper Hawk, still a little nervous, kind of trying not to look at anyone at this point. Occasionally sneaks a glance at Specialist Parzival because she's been nice to him once. Just in his own head, worrying about who he's been assigned to and what he may have gotten himself into.
So you don't have a rat then? You got the nutrient bars?
Yes. And he goes through his gear and holds one up like.
You like glow sticks?
Oh, it was never really one of my, but sure. Yeah.
Oh, they're real nice. Yeah?
Yeah.
Tell you what, I'll trade you. How many glow sticks you want for that nutrient bar?
2?
2? Well, I'll be. Right now. Parzival hands him over 2 glow sticks.
Gets out the nutrient bar and hands exchanges it with the.
Don't use them all up at once, alright? You turn green. Maybe die.
Really? I didn't know that. And he puts them in his pocket. At this point, very quickly, I'm just going to describe the uniform of your regiment. The Tastorian Ultimus Fideli Regiment. You are all in full black flak armor with gold trimmings. Covers your chest, your shoulders, your elbows, the lower part of your stomach, knees, legs, and heavy boots. Underneath these is fatigues in a low crimson and a reasonably heavy trench coat. Can be worn, cannot be worn, depending on the temperature and weather of the planet you're currently designated to. On this one, it's reasonably cold. Not a terrible idea to be wearing it. Additionally to that, you have full Stormtrooper helmets. They have a visor which emits a low red glow, and the faceplate of the helmet has a grinning skeletal death rictus on the front of it. The idea behind which is to dehumanize you to those you are currently fighting. Additionally, you're all outfitted with your regular gear. For Vera Warbitch von Valkis, you have your backpack with your ammunition, your heavy bolter, and a reasonable amount of bicep.
Thank you.
For Sergeant Keith, you have your bolt pistol, you have your chainsword. They've never failed you before. For Specialist, Rita Parzival, got a grenade launcher. You've got grenades. You have your frag grenades, your flash grenades, and also the Frenzigens, which you have been warned to tell people when you fire them in the future.
Oh, of course. They're just, they're labelled same as the others, so it's a little hard to keep them apart. One of them is deconstructed slightly, and she's just, when people think people aren't looking, she's just...
For Recon Tukale Ace Asinius, you have your sniper rifle. You have your camouflage-lined cloak that helps you blend into the background when you're out by yourself, doing a little recon, doing a little investigating. You also have your bullets. I don't know how carefully you store them. I assume it is with care and respect in a little pouch.
Wrapped in fine cloth, shine to perfection.
Additionally, Trooper Lenk and Trooper Hauk have hotshot las guns because your regiment are very elite. They get the best gear. They get priority with supplies because they do a pretty important but grimy job. The only thing you can expect, really, coming into this new planet to a special mission is some form of purging. It's what you always end up doing. Hard fighting, but hard rewards. And Trooper Lenk, the veteran, looks up. He's usually pretty quiet, but every now and then he will engage individually or in general. And he says, "So, any bets on what we're doing here?"
Probably purging, yeah? Purging?
Killing?
Think we're
I could
gonna
go
do
for a good
some
purge.
purging?
I mean, I feel like if we were purging, the rest of the regiment would have come with us, right?
Nah, we don't need the rest of the regiment, mate. We got War Bitch, Nice and me, and you two.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not untrue. Although, personally, whenever Warbitch is around, I like to be behind, looking forward.
Oh, that's a shame. I'm
We
so
all
pretty from the
remember.
front.
We all remember what happened to the lieutenant.
Oh,
What
don't
happened to the
bring that
lieutenant?
up.
Nothing. Nothing at all.
No.
Yes.
I'm interested. It sounds like a good story.
Well, the lieutenant before this one. You remember him, right? Used to get a bit too far forward.
Rings a bell.
It's not important.
Ended up just like all your other ones. Paint on a dirty canvas.
Efficiency is efficiency. I don't have time for pretty pictures.
It's fine. I can be the brush. You can be the oil and whatever else.
At
As long as you
least
get the job
Falcus-
done.
Kind.
At least Falcus hits a target when ordered and doesn't refuse if the sun's in the wrong position.
You know, I am thinking that I just discovered that I had a new one added to my collection.
Really?
Yes, I might need you to call out targets for me next time, and I'll be behind you that time.
Well, I trust you to hit the target you want to.
Of course, absolutely, every time. Never miss.
Well, I mean, there was that one time.
Rita's
They weren't.
already looking at him at the trooper, just trying to
Yeah.
see if there's anything valuable on him. Just to file that away for later.
Are we gonna keep chit-chatting or are we gonna go kill some fucking rats?
You'll get your
Well, I am
time.
quite
Don't
bothered.
worry.
I mean, we don't know truly what we're doing.
Oh, but it's not the first time we've been somewhere without a target. We'll get one. They'll give it to us.
Perhaps. And perhaps not.
I have to
don't know.
I
say,
hope it's
Sarge.
twists. It's always fun with twists.
Yeah, well,
I have
I'd
to
rather
say,
have
Sarge.
yeah.
I'm not super comfortable with this one. Going in not knowing what we're doing.
Look at that, even he's not comfortable. What does that say for you?
But he's a little bitch. Maybe he
Hey.
needs to pick up his big boy pants and shut the fuck up and kill some guys.
All right.
Why do we
No.
need to know? Just point us where we need to shoot, where we need to go. Purge.
Well, with
This
my
one didn't even
scouting,
need a
we won't
fucking
be put into
backstory.
a trap. I guess so.
Listen, I'm confident in each one of your abilities, as you are in your own abilities. Can we agree on that?
Oh,
Yes.
certainly.
Yes,
All right.
Sarge.
Good. They tell us what to do, we're gonna do it. Best of our ability. And we're not gonna die. Does that sound like a plan?
Yes, Sarge.
Yes.
Alright. Then that's what we're gonna do. Maybe we'll get a little bit more information about specifically. The only thing I care about is we're gonna get in there, we're gonna do whatever the fuck we're supposed to do, and we're gonna get out in one piece.
Like the sound of that?
Alright.
We're gonna leave a wide trail of destruction in our wake.
Yeah.
And Link settles down a bit, goes quiet again. There's a good 10 plus minutes of minor activity. I imagine you check your gear, make sure your harnesses are strapped on right for the grav chutes. Finally, the lieutenant comes out of the pilot area, closes the door.
Whoa, bitch. Target acquired, right?
Quiet specialist. We're about to jump. Sergeant, we have the green light. Get them ready.
I got it, LT. Alright, everybody, you know what to do. It's not your first fucking time. Get ready.
It's his first time, right?
It's going
There's
to be.
like there's like a in the towards the back of the Valkyrie.
Hawk, you be honest with me right now. Now, I read your file. You've done jumps before, right?
Yes, Sarge. I've done jump, Sarge.
And you're not dead, right?
Not dead, Sarge. Just getting it out before we jump, so it doesn't land on any of you, Sarge.
Oh, that's very kind of you. You think about who's gonna have to clean this shit up in here?
Not us, Sarge.
That would be you.
Just believe in the Emperor and all will be fine.
Praise the Emperor.
That's right. Say it again.
Praise the Emperor.
One more time. Louder this time.
Praise the Emperor.
Nah, you got it.
Oh boy. Rita, you're looking over that one.
Oh, gladly. You and me were gonna be best buds, alright? Stick with me. You'll be fine. Probably.
Perhaps.
All right, everyone, line up. Prepare to jump.
Sir.
You'll stand up, line out by the doors. Sarge, there's a button you can slam to open them up. The lieutenant's standing on the other side with a couple of you lined up there as well. Lieutenant pushes a hand to his ear for a second. Green light, let's go. Smash. Door. Slams open, wind whipping through, and the lieutenant goes, go, go, go. And you will jump.
Woo!
Air whipping through your face, the ground slowly coming up beneath you. Even at this height, you're about level with the top spire of the hive that is currently comes into vision. It is a big beast. It is just a mass of buildings and domes, and it's a big city that spires all the way up to the clouds.
Oh, nice. It's just like home.
Alright. Be careful over there. You're like talking of those things all in my ear, loudly.
As you get about halfway down, it hits about that time for you to engage your grav chutes. The jets at the back of them fire up and slowly slow you down in a vertical position, essentially stabilizing you as you drift slowly down towards the ground. This isn't like parachuting. It keeps you stable, It's easy, and you land softly on your feet. In an open field, a good 10-minute walk maybe from the hive. Very close group around you together. As you land, you see minimal activity, a few convoys of troops being driven out down a road off into the distance. Closer towards the hive, you see a bit of a almost shanty town of like hastily constructed domiciles. Looks like there's people waiting to get into the hive. As you land, the lieutenant walks up to you, Sergeant, and says, "Sergeant, make sure they're all here. Gather them up together, and we'll head towards the hive. We need to rendezvous with command."
Yes, sir. And then I do that.
Okay.
As routine as it always is.
Yep. You all landed safely, even Trooper Hawk, and my guess would be is that even here, where it's quite far away from the front lines, you would still move in formation, correct?
Yeah, I imagine so. I mean,
Which means, yeah.
I was just going to say, the biggest thing that we'd be doing as we'd be moving forward is I'd probably have Ace's eyes out constantly. We'd probably stop a little bit every now and then just because of the dangerous situation that we're in. But if it doesn't feel like we need to post up anywhere, then yeah, we're just moving in formation.
Okay. Yeah, and the route to the hive is pretty open. It's mostly plains land. There's occasional like little clumpings of housing that seem to be abandoned or maybe hastily constructed. And as you go, Ace at the front, keeping an eye out, probably War Bitch afterwards, just to, in case of ambush, you can bring that big gun to bear. Then Sergeant, Lieutenant, 2 troopers. I imagine that Specialist Parzival would bring up the rear.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I would ask her to have some smoke grenade just in case we need to put down a little bit of cover for us.
Sarge, you know I keep that thing loaded.
Wait! I hear something. It's...
Everyone holds, spreads out to the side, knees.
It's a smacking sound of some sort. Loud. Oh, are you what is she? She always has that thing in her mouth. You know my hearing is sensitive.
Well, I like to keep my mouth busy.
Well, why are you so close to my head then? It's like you do it on purpose, just all
What's
in my
there?
ear.
What do you got?
Gum, you want some gum?
I love some gum.
Oh, no,
you
it's
go.
gonna be too... Okay,
Here you go.
focus.
Just make sure
So
to...
Ace
Best
picks up the
friend
pace.
right here.
I'm going to go a little bit more distant away from you and make sure our route is clear. You see how open this is? Only I can track us here. Just give me a moment, and I'll see what I can find, and I'll wave you on. Is that okay, Sergeant?
Oh, yeah, you get out there.
Chewing gum. Stop.
Just as a note for you, Rita, the gum is pretty tame, but it does have a slight kind of stimulant kick to it. Just kind of like shakes your head a bit, wakes you up, keeps you a bit more alert, and a little bit more paranoid.
I don't know if Rita would even notice at this point.
It's very possible, yeah.
Rita's got a lot of stuff going on. I don't know if the
yeah.
if the gum's gonna make a difference.
Might just be a slight tingling sensation of your tongue for a second. It's like,
Her
that's
gums
weird.
are numb. She's got the drip, and that's about it.
So, Ace, you move forward, give a quick once-over, peek behind a couple of buildings. Everything seems clear. There is evidence of tracks moving away from this location. However, they aren't the tracks of something that would have heavy weapons on them, that type of thing. Looks like civilians moving very light. Minimal threat.
And cattle. That's all it is. And Ace will You're supposed to be waiting back there.
I know. You're gonna try this gum. You want some?
No.
I
That
just give
will
you
break
mine
me.
here.
Rita,
Just a bite.
we've
You can
talked
split it
about
here.
this many times. We're not back home.
Well,
We have means of surviving here. You don't need to do that here.
all for me then.
Yes, all for you.
So, since it was mentioned, as a quick little extra lore note for those people watching, the Tastorian Ultimus Fideli and other Tastorian regiments draw from two specific worlds in the system of Tastoria. That is Tastoria 4 and Tastoria 2. Tastoria 4 is an imperial world. Very simple. They worship the Emperor. They praise his existence. Tastoria 2 is a penal world. And the denizens of that penal world are sentenced to a number instead of years. The number they are sentenced to is the number of kills they need to gain in service to the Emperor in the Imperial Guard before they are freed. So instead of a number of year sentence, they get a number of kill sentence. Both Specialist Rita Parzival and Recon Asinius are from that penal world. Therefore, very likely, they have numbers to hit. So,
Now, Rita, these tracks here, you see? Remember how I told you I was gonna teach you how to read these?
Yeah, the tricks, of course. Got all the
You
tricks
can't
right
go
there.
blowing
Look at-
everything up, making this very noticeable for us, but this is cattle. You know, civilians.
Looks like cattle. Looks like people.
Yes. Yes. You know, those unimportant ones that herd together without knowing their surroundings. Not beautiful at all. Stuff that you could possibly, I don't know, blow up if they happen to get in the way. But only when they get in the way. You see.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't dream of it otherwise. Come on, you think I am?
I know who you are, and that's why I'm warning you. But now, looks like our way is clear, and that's what bothers me.
What's the difference between our numbers again, mate? What's the difference? Am I up, what, like 400?
Only because I want you to be
Just curious, that's all. Just curious.
somewhere around there. But we're not. Who's counting at the moment?
No, not me, certainly.
Hey, maybe
Well, you
if
know
you
I'm
stop
actually
jacking off,
counting.
you'd actually be able to kill that amount of people, you know? Like if you just stopped circle jerking yourself.
the
But
lieutenant
maybe I
walks
like
up.
my job.
All right.
What, you can
All
say
right. Everyone settle down. Ace,
Sorry.
is the way
Report the
clear?
situation, sir. Yes, there are small tracks here. Simple. I mean, civilians. It's a professional word for it here. But that's what
Very well.
bothers me. It's too quiet, too open.
Well, do not worry. We are headed towards a friendly hive city to rendezvous with the commander of the PDF. Sergeant,
All right.
gather them up. Let's make double time, and we'll be there as soon as we can.
Got it, Lieutenant. So, the Sarge has been sitting back and listening to this because everyone's still doing their job
Yeah.
and paying attention, but he knows they got to get shit out, you know, because what they're going to go into is going to be rough. So, at this point, he probably hears a little bit of bickering between them, just a little bit as they try and get
It
in little
ramps
pot
up a little
shots.
bit, yeah.
and then he's like, "All right, we're going to be making double time. Okay, get your shit ready, and we're going to go. Ace,
Yes, Sarge.
stay in front."
Absolutely. And he does what
And-
he's told.
And we get
And
going.
pick up the pace as you move closer and closer to the hive city. It really looms above you. It is a spire of urban smush, basically. it's hard to tell sometimes which is intentional building, which is like unfinished building, and which is just like a bit of ruined hive that's been left to decay and fall apart. As you get closer, you see the civilians out the front. There's a big queue waiting to get in the hive. Possibilities include them running away from something, or just migrating towards an urban centre. Unsure which, but as you make your way there, just push your way past. Your equipment, your gear, basically singles you out as something important not to be messed with, and they make way for you instantly. The troopers, if you can call them that, slovenly uniforms, not really in control of the crowd, standing there, give you the sign of the Aquila immediately on seeing you.
I do that right back at them, but there's a little bit of a almost annoyance in my eye, and and I keep going.
Yeah, you walk past them, they don't challenge it. As you head into the big gates, the big kind of pathway, things get a lot more urban, things get a lot more built up, and it's actually quite empty. It seems like possibly there's a curfew or a lockdown of some kind, keeping people in their houses for the majority of the time. And within maybe 5 minutes, a slightly more professional looking soldier walks up to you in your direction and notes you, Sergeant Keith, and then looks past you to the lieutenant and says, Lieutenant, sir, we've been expecting you. The governor is waiting to debrief you and fill you in. And the lieutenant says, very well, trooper, take us there. Very well, sir, this way. Spins around, starts walking, and you will follow. And I think that is where we're going to take a break. Walking through the hive. Random adjutant taking you to see the commander of the PDF. Now, PDF are the planetary defense forces for a specific planet. The difference between them and the Imperial Guard, the Astra Militarum, is quite significant. Depending on the planet, they can be pretty untrained, pretty, well, bad at their jobs. It doesn't mean that all Imperial Guardsmen or even Astartes, Space Marines, disrespect them, but I imagine when you come across the more disorganized, less trained PDF, it's kind of a bit of a sneer. In this instance, you are taken deeper into the hive, closer to the center. As you go, there is more signs of PDF patrols. It looks like they're doing their best to keep a lid on something. When you finally get to the headquarters, it is a very large, very bulky building, kind of in a little square by itself. There is gun emplacements, fortified quite heavily with these like plasteel bunkers, you know, big las cannons and even auto cannons. Reasonably impressive. Even a couple of chimeras. So at least this section is reasonably well equipped. Once you get here, the adjutant turns to the lieutenant and says, if you will leave your troops here, I'll bring you to see the governor. And the lieutenant nods, turns around, says, Sergeant, I'll be back as soon as possible. with our mission. For now, take 5. Or 10. Just don't steal too much. And then walks off.
Was that permission? He gave us permission.
I don't know. That wasn't smart.
Sounded like permission to me.
They sound like permission.
I'm pretty
indeed.
sure that was permission.
I think
Rita's
so.
just gonna... out.
I'm sorry,
Go
I
for
wasn't
a
listening. What?
Little
What
wonder.
permission?
Sit still
just-
what you like.
No. Just take a minute. All right? Hold yourself. Sit down if you fucking feel like it. Falcus can have some of that gum.
Oh, yeah. Here you go.
Trooper Lenk, the veteran, takes his helmet off, like kind of disconnects the faceplate, puts faceplate to the side, takes his helmet off, got this kind of like quite long, shaggy, white hair, goes with his slightly older, wrinkled face, slings his hotshot las gun to the side, kind of around his back, and just kind of leans against one of the trucks that's sitting there. Starts whistling low, just kind of looking around, a little bit disdainfully at the PDF activity around.
Is there anything within reach that Parzival can just...
Oh, there's a few trucks, but you are out in the open. You know, it's kind of like trucks like right there, ready to be picked up. There's patrols coming in, going out, and troopers like on guard, kind of making sure no one slips in. And
All right.
Sarge, do you know why we're here?
No, and I couldn't guess at it if I wanted to. We're gonna find out soon enough, though, if the LT's getting some sort of briefing on it. How old is this shit? And then he pulls this out and throws it. Did you give me
What?
one of those, like, fucking ones you've had forever? God damn it.
Parzival runs behind
They
and
never
grabs
go
it.
bad.
They do. Oh, okay. All right, that's fine. And then
You're going to tell me that they go bad. It's gum.
Pops it in her mouth.
no, it gets saturated. You know, I don't want to talk about it. And then he goes and he sits down next to Hawk, wherever Hawk is. If he is sitting down, I mean, if he's standing, that's fine.
he's kind of nervously standing, like just out there, like looking around, trying to figure out, you know, the lay of the land, as it were.
Yeah, I think he probably goes over there and gets near him and then sits down and says, "Come on, sit down. Take a minute. It's all right."
Oh, right you are, Sarge. And he, like, kind of looks around for somewhere to sit, and there's just pretty much the floor, and then, like, it just sits down on the... Got his knees
Alright.
up, kind of arms around. So far, so good. Right, Sarge?
Yeah, nothing happened. So yeah, I'd say so far so good.
There's a very small kind of snort from your right where Trooper Lenk is, and he's like, I mean, come on, Sarge, both you and I know what's going down here, right?
Look, I'm not gonna speculate. All right.
I mean, the civilians
Oh, I know.
rush
I
into
know.
the hive.
Yeah, I know. And if it is what I think it is, you know how hard that's gonna be. So let's just wait.
All right, but I'm telling you,
Oh,
Can
I'm-
can Parzival make eye contact with any of the low-paid people just kind of milling
oh
around?
yeah. You know,
Just
you
gonna
can.
motion for one of them to just come here towards the group.
And one of them like nudges his buddy and kind of peels off.
What's your
Right.
name?
Grizz.
Grizz?
Grizz. Yeah.
Grizz. I'm
Well,
Parzival.
Technically speaking, PDF Trooper Grizz, but Grizz is what my mates call
Grizz.
me.
All right, you didn't call me Parzival. You like gum?
Gum.
It's you chew it. It makes you numb. Gives you a little pep. You know what I mean?
I don't know, maybe.
It's real nice.
Well, how much you?
Grizz, I got a big wad of gum here. Can you tell me anything that's, something about the situation here that the higher-ups just probably aren't gonna say?
Hand it over.
Well, information, do you have it?
Well, let's see how it tastes first.
Well, it's got most of its flavour.
Yeah,
It's got most of its flavour.
It may taste like crap, and in which case I don't want to trade.
Right, fine. You can have a taste of it. She peels off a tiny little bit. It's very stringy and difficult.
Yeah, kind of like...
You can taste it, but there's a lot of drugs in it.
That's... Oh, I kind of tingles. A little bit.
It's nice, right? You get numb. You get numb in your gums.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
What can you
alright,
tell
alright.
me?
Alright, so, you didn't hear this from me, right?
Uh-huh.
But, seems like there's some very strong fighting happening up on the front line. Like, I've heard a couple of my buddies came back, minus an eye, minus an arm, minus a leg type thing, and that was just one of them. And they said that we ain't losing, but we ain't winning,
What are we fighting?
Oh, well, it's just small minor rebel elements. That's what the brass told us.
It's just rebels. Any twists? No?
So, alright. Gum.
Alright, here's the gum then.
Yeah. And he, splits it in half, gives the other half to his buddy, and they both pop it in and start chewing.
Parzival's gonna pull out a low stick and just hand it to the trooper.
Oh, cheers.
You win.
Well, there's more to it, right?
Yeah, what?
Some of my buddies say that they've seen some of those fish heads. The blue ones, the Xenos. In with the rebels, kind of strategizing and that, and giving them, guidelines, and they've even seen a few of those fancy fucking laser things that they got.
Oh,
the
really?
big pulse rifles,
Yeah.
dotted
all
around.
right. Well, good work, Grease. Thank you. Have all the gum. Have the gum you want. There you go. Good work.
And the glow stick.
Oh no, this is for me, mate. We made a bet. Thought it was
on.
twists.
Come on, that was great. You're not gonna hear that anywhere else.
Ah, all right, fine.
just
You can
one.
have it low stick. Fine, just one though. You're gonna have to split it with your mate.
That's
There you
alright.
go.
That's alright. Cheers. All right,
Cheers.
pleasure.
She picks out another low stick and hands it over to the grizzled trooper that came with us. Yeah. Did you have Tao or did I?
Cheers.
It was. Yeah, it's not twists.
I had
Shit.
Colt, proper full-on Colt,
All right, fine. Here you go.
Cheers.
Cheers.
So, what's the word, Rita?
What?
What are we up against? Is this just
Oh, it's the sexy fish people.
Tau?
With the feet.
Yeah. And are we dealing with just contingents of Tau, or
I don't know.
has some of the planet joined in as well?
Rebels mostly, I think.
Rebels. See, Sarge, I told
Find
you.
out later, I suppose.
This planet is going down the shitter.
Blow them up all just the same.
I doubt that's what our mission's gonna be, though. Well, maybe.
Pink mist, blue mist, make no difference to me.
A shame they
They'll
don't just
die.
exterminate it.
Well, it's our job.
So how long do you think he's going to be in there?
I don't know.
Sarge.
Yeah, it doesn't. I don't know. I mean, honestly, it
damn.
matters how many. It depends on the questions he's gonna be asking with whatever the fuck they're throwing at him. And the LT there, he's. Probably a little while, but that's all right. We'll get the information we need. Come back out to us.
All right.
And so, a little time passes. You hang out. Essentially, you have not really sack time. You don't have enough time to sleep, and in general, you'll be told when it's when you've got enough time to sleep. But you can sit down, stretch your legs, take a little bit of a rest, eat some rations, smoke a low stick, maybe even
Grease
have
my
time
gun.
to brew up some recaf. Grease the gun.
Mm-hmm.
Bring
I
out a
don't
little
smoke.
cloth, wipe it down, reciting some litanies to appease the machine spirit, to remain blessed by the Emperor. When you were back on the frigate, when you were being transported over here, you did manage to get hold of a member of the Ministorum, the religious section of the Imperium. He blessed you, he held a ceremony, blessed your gun, and even very kindly, actually, really, got a member of the Mechanicus to give a quick once-over on your weapon and make sure that it's all appeased, the machine spirit is happy, and the gun itself is ready for war.
Beautiful.
Could boys give me the willies?
So, what goes through your mind when you're cleaning your gun with all your words that you use? How does that help you on the battlefield? I've always wondered. Never asked. Was too afraid to ask. You get all uptight about stuff all the time.
I make you afraid to ask.
No, I just don't want to ruin the moment on the battlefield. Have your mind all twisted up and you forget to not click your little gun there as you spin around in circles to answer me.
Well, what do you think of when you clean your gun?
Oh, well, there's a lot here, so, I have to count every bullet there is, shine them to perfection, align the barrels, make sure there's nothing catching on the side, but I don't. It's a ritual of sorts, but not a ritual such as you go through. You speak these lines, and I'm very interested in knowing what they mean and what they do for you.
Well, when I'm cleaning my gun, I'm thinking about how I'm cleaning the universe by using it. So,
Oh, well, that's quite simple.
I'm a simple gal.
Understood.
What do you get from your rituals?
Well, you see, when one takes care of their tools, it always works for you. You don't have to think too much on it. Just point aim, make sure that the target is worthy enough, and then pull the trigger, and send them to bliss. As fast as possible, as painless as possible. Professionally, the job gets done.
We do things the same way, you and I,
Oh,
if you think about it. Yeah,
how
we're
so?
both giving a type of bliss. Sarge, how do you clean your blade?
Carefully.
That was fucking good, wasn't it?
Yes, I quite got that one. I don't think he did, though. Showing your age there, George.
To give you, everyone, a little insight into the Imperium, the Imperial Creed, and the religion surrounding the Emperor, I have a little quote quickly from someone in the Adeptus Ministorum. When people forget their duty, they are no longer human, and become something less than beasts. They have no place in the bosom of humanity, nor in the heart of the Emperor. Let them die and be forgotten. from the prime edicts of the Holy Synod of the Adeptus Ministorum, the priests of the Imperium. Gives you a little insight into how everyone feels about traitors and heretics. And after a little while, the lieutenant comes back out. I think, you know what? It's a little bit out of left field, but how about we have our first roll for the show? Could everyone roll me a scrutiny, please? Sarge, you will get a +10 to this roll. So, while they're rolling...
Wait, I'll do it?
So if you click the... if you go to the core section...
I know what it is.
Scroll down and you'll see, close to the bottom, scrutiny. Don't mix it up with security. There'll be a number...
Did I do that? No, I got it. I'm good.
Yes.
It was the modifier thing that stopped me. Sorry.
No problem. So, the way rolling works in Only War, you have your characteristics. For example, strength, agility. In this instance, you have perception. You then have skills, things like athletics, dodge, parry, etc. Scrutiny rolls off perception and allows you to see small things, whether it be visually or emotionally. You can pick up whether someone's lying to you, or you can spot a tiny movement in the distance. Your target is based on your stat. You roll a D100 and you have to get below what your target is. So the higher your stats are, the more of a likelihood of success you have. Specialist Parzival rolled a 16 with a target of 40. 3 degrees of success. Very nice. Sergeant Keith rolled an 87 with a target of 54. 4 degrees of failure. Now, failure doesn't necessarily mean that you fail. It can do. Sometimes it just means that whatever you're doing, you don't do as well as you are hoping to. So, for example, Sergeant Keith, you're distracted by the new recruit. You're trying to ease him into the squad, make sure he doesn't die instantly, essentially. You're not really paying attention to the lieutenant. Whereas someone like Specialist Parzival got a bit of a knack for people and always a little bit inquisitive. The other roles, Warbitch, you had a target of 44, rolled a 55, 2 degrees of failure. Honestly, who cares about the lieutenant? Fuck him. And Ace...
Not too hard.
Or literally. And Ace, you had a target of 60, you rolled a 52, you get 1 degree of success. So, what I tell Rita now, you will gain a smaller insight into how the lieutenant is. Rita. The lieutenant is less sure. The last time you saw him like this was in combat. Whenever he's in combat, you see him being a little hesitant. He tends to lean on the sergeant a bit more. He's not a terrible leader. He's not as good a combat leader. The Sarge is better than him in combat, for sure. And you see, as he walks out, and Ace, you'll see a bit of this in his stance too. He's not confident. And he might be a little bit worried. But he walks out, and he holds his hand up to the Sarge. Sergeant, we have received our orders.
Right.
Gather everyone round, and I'll tell the troops what we're gonna do.
Right. All right. And then Sarge goes around and starts not really yelling at everybody, but just sort of being pretty direct.
Stern
like,
voice.
Yeah. Just, come on, get up. Let's go. Stop doing that. Let's do it. Come on.
All right.
New recruit jumps up, wanders over. Older veteran Hawk. Sorry, not Hawk. It's the other one, isn't it? Lank. Like kind of shoulders his lasgun, wanders over, and as the lieutenant looks around and says, "All right, take a knee." He just takes his helmet, puts it beneath him, sits on his helmet.
Yep. Everyone, I imagine we all just sort of get down, get ready.
Yeah. All right. So, I had a decent inkling of the mission. It was given to us outside of the regiment. Top priority, and from what I understand, comes from even higher than the Astra Militarum Command. I imagine a couple of you may have some idea of what that means. We have a high priority target, extraction. It is personnel and package. That means that we locate personnel, we locate package, and we get them off-world as quick as possible. We need to locate them, and we need to secure them. Any questions so far?
Ace just looks at Rita, like stares at her, and then stares back.
I got a question.
Yes, specialist.
Are we going to the Underhive?
For now, it doesn't look likely. We are heading out of this hive and through towards the front lines where they're currently engaging the rebels. From what the governor has told me, the lines are very stable and we should be able to find the person we're looking for quite quickly. We are looking for a captain named Lissark. He is in charge of the front lines, and he was the last person assigned to our VIP. So,
Can I blow his socks off?
he will have an idea of where the VIP was last seen. Now, from what I've been told, it is a clear travel to the front lines. We should encounter no difficulties, but there is a limit on supplies and transports. We will have a truck for half of the way, but then we are going to have to go on foot.
Question.
Yes, specialist.
The VIP, we're bringing him back alive, yeah?
We are bringing him and the package back intact, yes.
He can walk, yeah? On his own? I'm not carrying him. I'm not.
We do not have a current status of the VIP. We'll
If
do
he
what we
is
have
dead
to.
by the time we get there, do you still want him? Or do we just keep him?
Priority is the package.
Got it.
Now, I wouldn't trigger discipline. Parzival,
Absolutely, sir.
von Valkus.
Uh-huh.
I don't want our VIP cut down before we secure them. Something
I'll do
funny,
the best I
Ace.
can.
You just asked her not to mow something down. I just thought that was... Sorry. Forgive me.
Very
He
well.
gets it.
We will be traveling by truck. It should take us about 30 minutes. Then we will dismount and go on foot for another couple of hours. At which point we should reach the front line. We will locate Captain Lissark and find out where the VIP was last seen. head directly there, gather him, and head back and evacuate the planet with him.
Sorry, just a question here. So we're walking with the VIP all the way back?
It is down to us to return as best we can once the VIP has been located. If it becomes necessary, we will even hijack or commandeer a vehicle if we need to.
Question.
Yes, specialist.
Sorry, maybe I missed it. I'm on a lot of gum right now. What's this package look like?
Unclear. The VIP will have it with him.
Is it big, little? Put it in my pocket.
I was not told.
Right, pocket it is.
Do we know who the VIP is?
We do not.
Each one of these questions, each one that is asked by them, and then, and every time that answer comes out, Sarge's face is just...
And you feel the burning gaze of Trooper Link, like, burying into the side of your head as he's like, I told you, right? So...
what are the rules?
Rules?
Yeah.
Standard engagement. From what I can tell, this planet is in a slight dire situation. There is minor talk of evacuation of VIPs and planetary command. So quicker would be better than slower. Let's just say, and he considers it for a second. Even after we get off this planet, the regiment might be called back here soon. That's all I can say.
What a lovely afternoon.
This is a surprise, to say the least.
It's not our usual assignment.
But why us, if I may ask? Our jobs and what we do well is escorting.
Our speciality is operating within the chaos of a falling planet. And we are considered to be the more elite of the forces available in the region. Maybe let's act like it as well.
Yes, of course.
Alright, grab your gear. And he pats the side of a truck just to the left of him. Mount up. And let's go find this VIP.
As I walk by him, I curtsy.
He very intentionally is staring forwards, and you see a little twitch of his eye, I saw that, but I'm Lieutenant. If I see it properly.
As Ace walks by, he says, like her more every day.
One thing that you will all be aware of the Lieutenant is that he is a bit of a stickler for the rules. He is a bit prim and proper a lot of the time. There's been instances for all of you where he has very, very intentionally not seen something. For example, Parzival, there's been times when you've he's walked across a battlefield eyes ahead as you're ripping bangles off dead soldiers and things like that, just if I can't see it.
No, Evan, it's not true.
It's if I can't see it, there's nothing to punish. And yeah.
Alright. I think as everything's getting situated, if anyone's nearby, someone might hear Sarge pretty quietly say, babysitting, and then he's just gonna keep getting stuff situated, telling people where they should go, what they should do,
Oh, yeah.
checking everybody, watching them. That's about it.
A couple of times your eye wanders to Trooper Link, and there's this kind of like this shit could get bad quick.
Yeah,
You've all been on planets that have fallen or are falling. You know how panicked and chaotic and crazy it can get. So the prospect of possibly having to find and babysit some random baby noble VIP idiot and bring them out of a war zone and get them off a planet that's collapsing is not your ideal mission, really. Although you can understand why you were picked for it.
Ice. Hey, Ice.
Yes, yeah.
Ice. Hey, Ice. Hey.
What?
I got an idea. You want to make a bet?
Okay, what is
It's
this?
just me and you, alright? No one else.
He looks over. Alright, what's the bet?
Alright, here's a bet. I think the VIP is one of them sexy fish people, right?
Yeah.
And he's a defector.
Mmm.
Bet you not. I bet you a low stick.
I'll be on that bet.
I got a nutrient bar. A whole one.
Oh, a whole one.
Even buffed it up.
Where the hell did you get a nutrient bar from?
It's my little secret. It's a little secret. You want it? You want a nutrient bar?
Alright, fine.
Right,
I
but
bet
if I
it's not...
win, I win. What do you got?
And he like sniffs and he pulls up the side of his tactical uniform and pulls back his cloak and shows like these 2 mint condition grenades that he siphoned off the field that he didn't tell anybody about. Yeah.
Well, I suppose it's up to snuff for a whole nutrient bar. Take it.
Yeah. A whole one. And I'm not
Whole
talking
one.
about half eaten or nibbled.
Haven't even nibbled.
Good.
As he's walking past, Lenk leans in and says, 2 packs of glow sticks says that it's the son of some noble on Terra.
What makes you so sure for 2 packs, mate?
Why else would they be calling us in?
Oh.
Gotta be someone important.
I say it's someone that you both do not expect. And we're all in for a surprise. You've seen him, the lieutenant. I saw under his eye twitch. And it's not like it usually does. But you're on. I'll take that bet.
We'll see, I guess.
What do you got in return? Oh, it's just you're betting the 2 packs, yeah?
And he goes into his pocket and pulls out 2 packs of glow sticks. Just
Alright, fine.
spreads them out like
Alright, well,
cards.
if you're all joining in, you want in on the bet then? Well, bitch, you in? What do you got?
I've got some gum.
Alright, I'll
You
take
want a
it.
gum?
Sure, I'll take it. What do you think it is?
Huh. It's a good question. I think it's dead already. So my bet is that whoever they are doesn't matter because they're nobody now.
It's almost certainly dead already, but who do you think it is, you know?
Here's a very quick question for all 4 of you to get the mentality of you as soldiers. You have a mission, it's a shitty mission, and there's a high possibility of your target, let's call them a target for now, being dead already, and there being no way to find the package either, so it's kind of a crap mission all round. Does it matter to you guys? Individually, collectively, or is it just, we have a mission, let's do it to the best of our ability?
Yeah, I want those grenades.
I think to Ace it matters a lot. In the back of his head, he doesn't like it.
Yeah.
Just because he signed up to do a thing, and this is not the thing, you know? So it's bothering him.
It's not clean, is it?
Right.
It's not.
It's very dirty and messy. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. You know how we do things. Yeah, we're professional. We in, we're out without a trace. This has already got fingerprints all over it.
I think that I don't really care either way, as long as as long as my time isn't wasted. And that's the thing that sucks, is that my time's probably wasted. So I'm a little bit annoyed. It's inefficient.
Yeah, there are heretics and rebels around to kill, though.
Well, then it's a holiday. I'm on vacation.
For me, it was a Tuesday. Trooper Hawk also leans in, trying to add his 2 cents, and says, "What if it's one of the Emperor's angels, an Astartes? Maybe we're here to help an Astartes."
Astartes? We didn't need our help.
Oh, you never know.
I think Sarge is probably just pretty pissed off and disappointed that this is what they're going to be doing.
Yeah.
And just, he knows shit's going to go sideways, so he is just on high alert right now. Just even before going in, he's just thinking about all they don't know, and is going to probably try and dig for anything as they're going forward, not around everyone else. He's probably going to poke at the LT, knowing that the LT would have probably asked a shitload of questions, didn't know what he would actually know, didn't think he'll probably give up too much, but he's going to do it anyway when he gets a chance.
Yeah. So you, when you guys all jump on the truck, I imagine you want to position yourself kind of either opposite or next to the LT a little bit of ways.
Yeah, so Ace is gonna be staring him down, hardcore, but not in an angry fashion. He's just getting a read. A stone cold look. When the truck's moving, his bump, and his eyes are just fixated on him.
Yeah, just trying to root out the secret, as it were. Okay, so you all jump into the back of this open truck. It kicks into gear, starts heading down through the hive towards the exit. As you go, there are some things you see. How you feel about them is really down to you, but you do see civilians being roughed up, being moved along. If they're a little bit slow, if they're a little bit talking back, they get a butt of a gun across their face or kicked to move quicker. It's not something you haven't seen before, of course. This type of thing happens in emergency situations. And the Imperium is not a nice place. My thoughts is, and feel free to confirm, that none of you really care.
No.
It's fact of life, mate.
Yeah. There is a moment when Trooper Hawk sees a civilian get the butt of a gun against their face, and he half stands up and is immediately grabbed by Link and just pulled back down in this kind of and he just kind of looks over at the rest of you as fucking rookies.
Yeah, I think Ace leans in. He's gonna be you know that we do so much more worse, don't you? And he kind of leans back. Can't worry about everything that you see around here. Just your job and staying alive.
Hawk looks for a second like he's going to say something, and then just shuts his mouth because Ace is the one talking to him. It's I know, and just kind of looks down, tries not to look. It's not horrific. It's not the worst, but Then, as you get to the big gateway that leads out into the open fields and stretch of roads that's going to take you towards the front line, There's a gaggle of civilians kind of pressed around, wanting to get in. The PDF are holding them back. Occasionally, there are gunshots as they fire into the air to scatter the crowds. The second that you drive up, there is a parting as they all desperately try to get out of the way as the truck shoots past them straight out into the open plains, going down the road. For the next 30 minutes, you are in this truck. Empty fields, not much to see of anything, an occasional truck heading in the other direction. If you peek over it, you can see, a few stretchers, bloody bandages covering troops being brought back from the front line. Not that many. But that doesn't mean there aren't many casualties. It just means there's not many people being brought back.
Oi, wall bitch!
Yeah, Parzival.
I can't remember. Are you in on the bet?
Yeah, I'm in on the bet for some gum. Guy's dead.
All right, you got gum. Well, what do you think it is?
Oh, the Emperor himself.
Oh, come on. Maybe. Kind of funny.
Amen. It would be.
I'll put you down for the Emperor. Here's the gun. Inch. Emperor. Come.
Trooper Hawk, kind of leads over towards the Sarge and says, Sarge, it can't actually be the Emperor, can it?
Oh, no. That's ridiculous, no.
Well, it could be.
That'd make her day now, wouldn't it?
Maybe
See
he'd
her
come
lovely
to.
emperor.
That's a little
Bless
bit
us
more
all.
faith in us than I think anyone's ever going to put. But I'm glad you guys think really that highly of yourself.
Have to clean me boots.
Spit shine.
Spit on them.
The lieutenant looks to his left where Ace, having joined the conversation slightly, but not taken his eyes off the lieutenant, the lieutenant looks over, kind of has a moment of staring with Ace, but then drops his eyes and kind of averts his gaze and looks off, tries to do it casually. But Ace, you get that feeling of lack of confidence again, which just fuels whatever it is that's going on inside his head.
Yeah, he's kind of turns his head a little bit and peeks his eyebrow and squints. And it goes. And just keeps his eyes on him. In his head, he's saying a whole bunch of shit.
One thing I imagine Ace is definitely thinking at this point is that the lieutenant would definitely not have lasted on your planet. Well, where you were imprisoned.
Yep. Just taking it all in, making notes. And then I think Ace, when the lieutenant turns away, I think Ace will take a small moment and look towards the sergeant and lock eyes with him. And then just go.
Yeah. Probably just nod. Just at him.
And then he'll revert his eyes back to the lieutenant. And start looking for shiftiness in body, uncomfortableness. He's starting to look at all the details. Twitches and fingers.
Vita's just gonna nudge the lieutenant, or not the lieutenant, the trooper, the greenhorn, right there. And, oi, check it out. The wild Ace in his natural habitat, like a spider.
If you don't mind me asking, is he all right?
No, babe, no. I never saw.
Oh, okay. What? And he like points at Warbitch. He's like, what about her?
Oh, war bitch. Oh, don't fuck with war bitch. Don't fuck about, mate.
No?
No.
And like Link like leans forward and goes into kind of a conspiratorial huddle with you both. He says, a couple of years back, Warbitch was on the front line with us, and a greenhorn took a blast to the knee. Might have survived, but mysteriously died in the night, and his body disappeared. Now, of course, none of us think that Warbitch ate him, but supplies were low at the time. Who knows? And he kind of like gives this really evil grin at Hawk, and then a really slight, like, sly wink at you, Rita.
I'm on his own cannibalism, mate.
And Hawk's
Don't
like,
fuck about.
Hawk's like enraptured, kind of like, really? And then kind of like looks over at Warbitch and is like, shudders slightly in this kind of, you know,
Keeps you warm in the trenches.
How far away are we, Sarge?
I don't know. I'll check. And then I go to do that.
Driver says about 10 minutes, and then it'll be time to disembark.
Oh, 10 minutes out. Oh, time is flying. All right.
Hey, Parzival.
Oh, bitch.
You ever thought how fun it would be if you dropped one of those crazy grenades here, like among us, and which one of us would come out on top?
Oh, yeah, think about it all the time. I've done it a couple of times, but then it just don't go off all the time, you know?
Ah,
If we're gonna be betting, my money's on the Sarge. He survived
Yeah, I put
too
my
long
money
to
on the
die
Sarge.
at this point.
I
Yeah.
put a mine under the greenhorn's seat in the Valkyrie. He didn't even notice. Didn't go off neither.
isn't
Yeah.
that a bad thing?
Wait, what?
What?
There was a mine under my seat?
No.
If your shit doesn't go off when you need it to, I mean,
Rita,
isn't
we
that a
talked
bad
about this.
What?
You blow them up after the mission, not before.
After?
Well, yes, if you don't pass. If you're missing a limb, you become not autistic. Not... Well, let's just say you're not efficient. And he looks at Valkus. So we have to get rid of you. And nobody does it better than Rita.
The Hawk, like, has his lasgun kind of, you know, stood up on the seat and then kind of resting against his shoulder. Just, like, puts his arm around it, slightly, like, gripping it a bit tighter and, like, looking around a little bit nervously.
Relax, mate. It was only a shock grenade. You wouldn't have even felt it, really, not for the armor. Just a little buzz, you know? Keep you tight.
Sarge is listening to all of this, and he's probably looking over at Hawk every now and then, just trying to gauge his reaction, trying to find the point where he's about to, not that he's going to lose his shit necessarily, but make sure that, you know, he doesn't hit that point where he's not going to be effective, but he's
Yeah.
going to let it go for a while.
A little bit of fear, you found, tends to help survivability. They're less likely to do... Well, let's face it, they're less likely to do Warbitch stuff. You know, charge forward, guns blazing.
Yeah.
That only
Yeah, I
works
mean,
for
they're-
some people.
They're essentially saying, don't get shot or you're going to get eaten. And he's
Yeah.
like, all right, don't get shot. So that's really great.
It's good advice. Also, incidentally, Sarge, if you're wanting to talk to the lieutenant before you get off the truck, you've got a few minutes left.
I would have poked at him and leaned over and said, you got anything at all? I mean, we don't know where we're going. not necessarily. We don't know what we're looking for. I mean, this is ridiculous. Just very real, but very quiet to him.
I know, Sergeant. If it helps, and maybe it will, I was given a token to speed our process through the planet. And he goes into his jacket, pulls out something, like keeping it mostly hidden, and then like flashes it to you very quickly. I am going to give a scrutiny roll for Ace only, because Ace is the one who's really
Oh hell yeah, he
concentrating
is
That's cool.
looking at his
Lieutenant.
soul right now.
So that'll be scrutiny with a plus 20, please.
Okay.
2 degrees of success. It's enough to get a good impression of what is flashed. So, Sarge and Ace, what you see is essentially like a badge. It is heavy metal inlaid on essentially leather. It is an eye with a skull in it. The eye is red and inlaid, and both of you will know exactly where that is from. If you would like me to tell you, because you're not sure, I can.
Yeah. Guess it'll help the audience as well. Let's do it.
That is an inquisitorial seal. It is something to denote operative or member of the Inquisition. It is only given out to inquisitors or to their agents when they are given a mission.
Okay, so I think
This is the equivalent of getting a mission from like the shadow CIA, the secret, like a secret organization within a secret organization kind of shit.
Okay, so I think at this point, because I imagine we'd all very much be aware of that and everything that entails to some degree, I'd probably look over at Ace, looking at his face to see if he caught it. And I imagine if he sees me, he's going to give me an indication that he saw it.
Yeah,
And-
it'll slightly like something like
Yeah, okay.
that.
So I think as soon as Sarge sees that, he's going to nod slowly at Ace, but then look at the others, almost like a let him know when you can sort of thing. I mean, he's like, and then just sort of leans back. That's it. Doesn't talk to the LT anymore.
And the LT like slips it back in his pocket, and as he's just staring kind of like off and away, says very slightly, so you can just about hear him, so you understand.
I understand.
A few minutes pass, the truck rattles and eventually pulls up at the side of the road. The driver leans out and says, "All right, this is where you get off."
Oh, finally.
Oh, fucking hell.
Yep.
In the distance, you can see small flashes on the horizon and very light whoops of what is probably artillery. The front line is still a ways away, but you're getting closer. And the lieutenant says, "All right, Sergeant, formation. Just because we're behind the line of battle doesn't mean we shouldn't be
ILT.
cautious."
You're absolutely right. All right, everybody. Let's get in line.
All
Rita's loaded up, but gonna walk a little bit to the side of the group so that she can see mines if they're planted in the road.
Okay. So you take
Yeah.
your positions.
Yep.
Standard
Ace
formation.
is gonna go in the front and do a scout thing.
So, for a open field, which is essentially what you're going to be walking through for a while, a line formation is more common than a
Okay.
column formation. However, seeing as you have a recon let's call it trooper, it is very useful to have him up front and ahead of the others. If you're looking out for mines as well, then Parzival would be a very good choice to accompany Ace.
That's great,
Right there
actually.
with you, mate.
Like old times.
It's essentially what you'll be doing is you'll be lieutenant, sergeant in the center, spread out in a line like that, and then a good kind of like a good maybe like 50 to 100 meters in front of you will be Recon and Parzival basically fanning the area, just making sure everything is clear ahead of the main squad.
I'd probably pull Hawk next to me. He'd probably look riled up enough at that.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have him next to me. I'm probably going to be giving him little bits of advice, pointing some stuff out, talking about the two in front and what they're doing, and just sort of trying to get him focused on what's going on around him and trying to get him into the mindset.
Right. And he's trying to learn from you. He's like keeping an eye on what you're doing, like how you're stepping, everything like that. Like it is very apparent that he's been through the training, but as you're very aware, especially depending on your sergeant, like who's training you, training doesn't necessarily equate to experience.
Yep.
Hit a little close to home there, didn't I?
That's okay. So, but anyway, yeah. So yeah, as we go forward, I probably there's small call outs every now and then, checking in with everybody. I don't think at this point, it's not that I'm not expecting anything to happen, but it's more like every step I'm getting probably a little more tense. I don't know if I'm letting anyone see it.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely making. They'd probably notice that I'd be asking for different bits of information a little bit more frequently the longer we go forward.
Just a little bit more wired, a little bit more like ready to jump into action if. And it's appropriate because Sergeant Keith did not get where he is now, which is essentially a reasonably old man in the army, by just being like, it'll be fine. We'll just walk. So, I'm going to ask for an awareness roll from Ace and from Rita, please. Ace, please give me a +10 on that roll. And Rita, you can take a +20. Oof, good rolls. Ace, 3 degrees of success. And Rita, 1 degree of success.
By 1.
With your expertise in explosives, you do notice at the same time, essentially. Rita, you notice the telltale signs of dirt having been dug up and replaced. You're heading towards a minefield. Ace, you spot the mounds, that very infinitesimal bump in the grass that implies a mine. The additional thing I'll give you, Rita, because it is your speciality, is that these are anti-tank and not anti-personnel mines. So, you are safe to walk through them. Even if you stand on them, they won't go off.
Really? Sarge?
Yeah, go ahead.
Your mines up ahead look like empty tank.
Yeah, makes sense with a field like this.
Should support a trooper though, greenhorn maybe.
All right. Keep your eyes out over going forward, all right? And then, yeah, probably relays a bit to everybody. Says, try not to step on them. Sometimes they're shit, but we should be okay. And then like, as we're going, he's just probably saying stuff like that.
You can communicate the positions of them as you move forward as well.
Yeah. Okay.
So, a little bit of weaving, not too much avoiding of mines needing to be done. it is a fairly widespread. It looks like it's a wide minefield. It looks essentially like it's kind of the military equivalent of Gandalf going, "You may not pass, you shall not pass." You know, it's just like no one gets past this point if you're in a tank, and probably the reason why you couldn't go any further by truck. The likelihood is the PDF dropped these here. As you're walking, another 20 minutes go by. You're mostly out of the minefield. You do spot, incidentally, a burnt-out husk of a chimera. Doesn't appear to be any troops in or around it, but the chimera itself has been, probably last couple of days, hit by an anti-tank mine and essentially abandoned. It's burnt out. Possibility is to stop it being used if the enemy push this far or happen upon it. They may have detonated the ammunition packs inside to essentially completely disable it and make it not worth scavenging or anything. As you're leaving the minefield, could everyone please roll me awareness?
Are there any modifiers?
No, just straight up awareness. I will say at this point, you do have 2 fate points each if you wish to re-roll. They refill at the end of every session, so...
Yeah, I'll definitely re-roll.
And feel free to mark off a fate point for now and just do another roll, same roll, same everything. Just to inform people who don't know the system, fate points are designed to highlight individuals touched by fate. For whatever reason, when you roll badly, or if you want to re-roll something that you failed in, you can utilize a re-roll point, a fate point, to re-roll to give it another shot. Like, cancel out the bad roll, give it another go. In Only War in general, they are also used to burn. You can completely get rid of a fate point to survive a mortal kill. You know, if you're killed or are going to be killed, you can kind of cancel it out, burn a fate point. In this campaign, you cannot do that. If you're killed, you're killed. Alright, let's have a look here. We have Sergeant Keith. You rolled a success. 1 degree. We also, as expected really, Ace, 2 degrees of success. This is quite a long way away, so it makes sense that only the more vigilant and maybe paranoid notice this. Off on the horizon, not in the direction you're heading, kind of to the side a fair ways. Look far enough to be on the horizon for you. You see indistinct figures. Looks like a squad moving through the field in a patrol formation.
Can I tell if they're on what side they are, or no? They're silhouettes, more than likely.
For now, yeah. You'd need to get closer.
Sarge?
Mm-hmm.
Do you see what I see?
Do you want to, like, hold up the, you know...
Yeah. Yeah. So I think as soon as he starts saying something, I'm probably, yeah.
Yeah, the same second you notice it, Ace's hand has gone up and everyone stops and goes down on the knee.
Hold.
Can you get any details from there, or what do you
I
see?
need to get a little bit closer to see what side they're actually on, but it looks like almost like a squad of some sort.
All right.
Is it the sexy fish people?
I can't tell just yet.
Look at the feet. Can you see
Well, I
the
can't
feet?
see the details from here.
Right,
And you know it bugs me that I can't see the details.
I know. Just curious, mate.
All right. Go ahead and move up a little bit, okay? As soon as you get anything, let me know.
Will do. He does what he's told.
Question: are you going to carry on your current destination, or are you going to move towards the other patrol
So
and investigate?
what I would have probably requested him do is get close enough to get any information to a point. If he gets a certain amount of distance away, I would have said stop. Like,
So-
that's too far.
You're holding position and sending Ace to recon the situation.
Yeah, just
Very
close enough, because I imagine with what he has for distance and everything, and considering how focused I know him to be, he should get something enough before he's too close to be really recognized and relay it back. And if he doesn't, I'll just say, all right, come on back.
Okay. Ace. You break off from the squad, start moving forward, going to bushes, going to little bumps in the fields, like anywhere
With his
that
cloak
gives
on,
you.
yes.
I was gonna ask. You wrap the cloak around you. It's
Yeah, he wants to become a part of the environment, essentially.
Those of you would have seen this before, but to describe it for everyone else, you see essentially what is behind Ace when you look at him. His cloak shifts and molds to the environment around him. So he looks, at the very most, like a haze. Okay, you can see bits of him depending on how much he's covered, but for the most part, it is very hard to recognize him. Which is why, as he steals forward and tries to get a good view of this patrol, he will roll me a stealth, and he will do it with a plus 30.
Let's go.
Romantic. Oh my god. I don't know that. Jesus.
1 degree of success. So, you manage to gain a lot of ground on them. They are walking away from your destination, not parallel, but they're not coming that closer towards you. So it takes a good few minutes. You position yourself by essentially a part of the road that kind of lumps up from the field and it's a bit raised. Sight down your scope, adjust it slightly, get the focus in. They don't look like the PDF troopers that you saw.
No sexy fish people.
No sexy fish people. They are all human. They are geared up with weapons. You have not met the rebels on this planet. You don't know what they look like. The best I can tell you is that they don't look like the PDF troopers you have met that were the loyalists. Essentially,
well.
it's down to your judgment.
If we don't have that friend or foe, we don't have friends. He takes that information back, and yes.
As you are just about to turn, you see a twitch from the one in the lead, and a sudden flurry of movement as they take position facing the direction of your squad. It's enough for you to realize that they have noticed the squad and they're taking a battle formation.
Yeah, so Ace, you don't really see this often, but he kind of not loses his composure, but it's more of like a I slipped type thing, and it really bugs him. And at this point, he is going as fast as he can back to the group, like not worrying about. I mean, he has his cloak up and everything, but he is scurrying.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gone.
Okay. The sergeant, you will notice as well, like some flurry of movement that kind of piques your danger sense, and they will start kind of like moving more directly towards you. They're still a good fair ways away, but it's enough for you to think that they've probably noticed you.
From what I can see, does it feel like there's
Can I
any.
can I correct
Yeah.
something real quick?
Yeah,
If
absolutely.
possible. Instead of going back, because I don't think Ace would have done that. He's smarter than that.
You don't
He
think
would
they've
have like.
noticed you, for the record.
Okay, yeah, he would have taken out something out of his mini pockets and caught the sun and just glimmered it their way towards the Sarge, because he knew the Sarge was watching him.
Okay.
So you'll
In
get like
that
a
case,
that like glimmer of light.
Okay. I think what I would probably do is if they're moving, if I can tell that they're moving towards us,
Yeah.
like even a little bit, then the first thing I would do is assess if there's any reason to move away or if I know that engagement is coming and there's no way around it. So I'd be trying to assess that.
So, in the current situation you're in, and this is for you as well, Ace, Ace hasn't been noticed. Ace, you know enough to know that they're heading towards the squad, not towards you. You are a good few hundred meters forward against a road with a kind of like a hump, kind of to the side. Essentially, if the squad moves forward and the patrol that has noticed them moves forward like this, you would kind of be around this bit over here, so kind of flanking slightly. If you want to stay where you are, that's perfectly fine. Sarge, you have minimal cover going in any direction, and if you were to move away, depending on how well trained they are and how their stamina is and how long they've been marching for,
Right.
there's a possibility they'll either keep up or you could present yourself as better targets, staying standing up and on the move.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because my
Depends
concern is
whether they're
if
friendly or not.
Yeah, my concern is that I probably, all right, so if I see this with that much information, then I'm going to tell everybody probably to post up best they can.
Yeah.
And just be, I'm probably going to be talking to Ace, telling him if he thinks he can get back without being seen, that's great. If he doesn't and he thinks he can get to any sort of flank, do that first. Because if shit goes sideways, he's going to be able to take out a lot and they're not going to see it at first.
Yeah.
We can cause enough chaos. So yeah, I'm probably doling stuff out, and I'm probably doing that very aggressively, so that, and not like angrily, but I'm telling people to go a certain amount of distance away in a certain way, knowing that they're seeing us. Like almost trying to show an aggressive act as we fan out and we start to post up as they start walking towards us, so they can see it.
Okay. And you are all trained soldiers. You've done this many, many times. So the second the Sarge gives the word, everyone, aside the rookie, has a little hesitation. He's not as on it as the rest of you. But, Warbitch, you essentially move forward, slam well, not slam because you treat it with respect, but you post up with the heavy bolter, tripod, aiming down, ready to let loose. Rita, similar thing. Get behind a little bit of like a little hump of land, like decent cover. Grenade launcher out, ready to essentially lob grenades. They're not close enough yet. The only people who really would be in range at all would be Warbitch. You can take shots, but it would be like difficult shots. They're quite far away still. And Ace, you have essentially a bead on them, enough to take a reasonable shot, let's say. Everyone posts up, goes quiet, and wait. Now, Ace, I'm going to ask for a scrutiny roll, just flat.
Oops. Started. Cancel. There it is.
You may re-roll if you like. You have one more fate point.
Sure. I have two. I didn't re-roll the.
Oh, you didn't re-roll? Then you have two fate points.
I did. I re-rolled earlier.
Scrutiny, don't do this to me. Give it to me. Okay, I'm gonna re-roll again because it's importante.
Alrighty.
Why does this game hate me? All right, bless it, Miss Valkis. All right, here it goes. Okay, it was meant to be. It was
It's
honestly meant to be.
That's fine.
You can't tell, possibly because they've mixed up as they moved, you can't tell who the leader is. If you're taking a shot, you are going to be shooting, in sense of like priority targets, fairly blind. As the patrol moves up, they pause just out of optimal fire range, essentially. They take up positions around a defensible position, you know, like similar to you, little bumps and, you know, little divots in the land, stuff that will give them some cover. And you hear them shout out, La Aura! You don't know what that word means.
Nope. Basically what Ace does is he has his cloak over him, he lays down and he gets a better aim on it, because that to him was like, I'm probably having to take a shot. So he just loads a bolt, cocks back his sniper rifle and just gets ready.
Okay,
And
taking
looks
a bead
towards
on one of the soldiers.
Yep, and he looks. He doesn't look, but do we have earpieces or anything of that nature?
Yeah.
Okay, so he's just gonna say, "On your word," really slightly.
Sarge, that feels like a coded challenge. You know, you reply with a code word to identify yourself as friends.
So I recognize the word as what that should be, but I have no idea what it is myself.
Yeah, you know enough militarily to know that that's a coded challenge, but you don't know the word itself. It's not an Imperium Gothic word.
Okay,
So
that's enough. That is enough for me. If I know that these people are posting up and they're saying shit and I don't know it, that's enough. So I think the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to... How defensible is Ace from his position? Like, if he takes someone out, how much are they going to notice him?
He has his cloak
they'll-
on.
They'll notice the shot, but they won't necessarily notice where it's from. And
The
he
direction.
is a good distance away, so even if they do notice, A, you'll be able to cover him decently, and B, he'll have a good grace period before when they can get into position to return fire.
Great. Okay. So I think at this point, I'm going to tell him that we're going to fire first. So, Ace, we're going to fire in a minute, okay? And when we do that, I need you to look at a couple targets. Anything heavy, anything long range, and try and aim for the people in the back. Because if we do enough, they may not notice as you're picking them off, all right?
Excellent.
All right.
You hear Trooper Lenk mutter in the comms, "Stable front lines, my arse. Let's lie him up, Sarge."
Right. All right. I think the first thing I'm going to do is... Parzival, how much range you got right now?
How much range you want, Sarge?
I just need to know. If you can't get there, that's fine, but I need to know.
Just at a range, I think,
It would be a pot shot. You can't guarantee a hit, definitely.
Perfect.
Can't guarantee it, Sarge. Which way's the wind blowing?
Ah, that's right.
Is the
That's,
wind blowing that way, by any chance? Yeah.
Not really much wind. It's pretty.
What?
You'd need
No
a
wind either, Sarge.
you need a good sprint to get closer. The range you've got currently, the only effective fire would be from Warbitch and from Ace currently, but
Yeah.
there
I
are
think-
smoke
Hold on.
grenades as an option.
See, that's what I was thinking, actually, is putting down smoke grenades, but I don't want to do that first because that helps him out, too. All right. All right. Valkus,
Yeah.
I'm going to need you to start focusing on the right flank, okay? And just
Okay.
directly. Don't spray. Focus right there, okay? It doesn't matter if you kill them. They just need to start taking damage, all right?
It's what I do best.
All right. And you're going to You're going to pay attention because we're going to start moving forward. All right? You see some people start stepping out of line, getting forward. That's when you swing. Ace, when you hear that gunfire, that's when you start taking them out. Parzival, we're going to rush, and you get some shit ready.
Boy.
All right. And then I'll probably tell Hawk, stick close. Link, do what he does. And then, ready?
Ready.
Ready.
You hear that challenge again ring out over the louder.
At that, I'm like, now.
Okay. Warbitch, you open up.
Yes.
Right side of the enemy just starts getting peppered with heavy gunfire. At the exact same moment, Ace, you taking a shot on one?
Yeah, he's going for their recon if possible. He's got a bead on him, so he's going to shoot in the back with a recon to give them a disadvantage on long distance fire.
Okay, so as the heavy gunfire opens, a loud retort is heard from the side as Ace aims down his sight and squeezes the trigger, head perfectly in that center. And next week, we'll find out how we do.
I love our squad. Squad's
Oh,
bad.
it's so good. You guys are so great.
Oh my god.
So,
That was so fun. I was so into it.
thank you, all four of you, for being brilliant Astra Militarum troopers.
Oh.
This was so fun.
It's so much
Please, let's have a little bit of a go around, everyone, and who you are and where we can find you. Because I mean, everyone in the chat's gonna want to find you after that performance. Come on now.
You tell us who goes first.
Oh, damn! I have to choose. Oh, I
Yeah,
feel
it's
so
your,
powerful.
it's
We're just
your
gonna fight
responsibility. I'm
amongst each
sorry.
other?
You know what? Let's go with Warbitch first.
Oh god.
Yes.
The titular character.
Hello, I'm Murgles. I played Warbitch for you today. Vera von Falcus. And this was super fun. What a joy. Thanks for having me. You can find me. I stream on Twitch Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And lately I've just been playing some like Crusader Kings and Witcher. And actually I got a puppy. So if you're interested in puppy cam, it's a lot of just me hanging out with my puppy because that's all I have been able to do since we got her. So yeah, anyway, thank you so much. Bye.
Thank you, Burgles, and welcome to 40k. Let's go on over to our resident 40k, someone who has played 40k before, to Nicotine, and also Rita Parzival, the only one who I have to pause to say that. I always want to say Percival or Parvizel.
Hi everyone, my name is Nicotine. I do a lot of roleplay. I've actually done shows here on Table Story before, and I stream on Twitch every single day at twitch.tv/Nicotine. That's Nikatine, and you can find me on Twitter at Nicotine Prime. Coming up.
Okay. Next up, we're going to go to our artiste, the purveyor of I was going to say pain, but it's not really pain because it's usually painless, but Ace, and also Technique.
Hello, I play Ace. What a cool name. It was hard for me to say. It's like Takel Asinius.
Torquay
I like it.
Licinius, yeah.
Tokai Asinius. I love it. Yeah, you can, it's Technique with no U, no E, just a Q. You can find me on Twitch, Too Much, and on Twitter at Technique TV, just add a T and a V on add a Q. I was always interested in Warhammer 40k. This is a great way to get into it. I was looking for books. There's a lot to get into. But once I get through all my D&D Forgotten Realms, I'm going into that, and I'm really excited because there's so much involved with it. So thank you for having me. Hope you guys enjoyed his autistic pleasure in shooting, and it was a pleasure being here for you guys today. And thank you, Sheepdog, and the cast.
Welcome to 40k. Finally, the highest in the hierarchy of our players, we have Sarge, also known as Sergeant Keith, also known as Aaron. Hey.
Hi everybody. My name is Aaron Black, and I'm a writer, and you can find me over on Twitter at Aaron B Writes. But yeah, if I could just say one, like I was saying, it is a great introduction to 40K. A lot of little things. You do a great job of explaining these things as we go forward because it is very new for me. So little things, and Nikki, you throwing stuff out there. I'm like, thank God, because you're trying to pick up stuff. You want to make sure that you've got that, like, oh yeah, absolutely, I got that. You do such a good job of that, so I really appreciate it. Everybody here, you're beautiful. This was amazing, absolutely amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And obviously there's myself, Sheepdog. I run the Wandering Inn. If you want to find me, do a little legwork. Do it yourself. Thanks for watching, everyone. Hope you enjoyed the first episode of The Final Gift. And we will see you next week, same time, same place, in the Hell of War.